he says. Ian says, go for it. So welcome, everybody. Welcome to another Food for Thought, our monthly. Thanks all for tuning in. Food for Thought, as you know, you're in the right spot if you are interested in, yes, holistic health, personal development, and so on and so forth. Mindset. And tonight we have a wonderful topic and a wonderful guest who has been on Balcony Banter, formerly on Balcony Banter. I'm not sure if on Food for Thought, but she has been twice, I think, on our show already, supporting us. So I'm very, very happy to have her on again. Kim De Costa from Slow & Co. But we will see how many more potential multi things she's doing now. So for now, it's Slow & Co. All right. So welcome, Kim. Thank you.
Thank you for having me once again. Always love these live chats, basically conversations. I love that.
Exactly. So that's what it is. I'm glad to see so many of you tuning in the comment section. I will say hello to you in a second. And we have, of course, in Scotland, Ian. Ian is sitting in the left corner. Hello, Ian.
Hello. Hello, folks.
How are you?
How is everybody?
Are you doing well?
I'm doing very well. Just sitting here relaxing, actually. Had a busy day yesterday. Somebody took me shopping yesterday.
Shopping, but you didn't drop. You didn't drop.
No,
okay.
No, I didn't.
And
I didn't drop.
Who's walking there? Who's walking in Callao Salvaje? So he's taking us on a walk, a live walk. It's Timmy Baby. So Tim, the superstar, welcome.
How are you, my friends? Sorry that I'm not at home today, but I've got a few messages to do. And whilst I'm at the shop, I thought I'd do this. And oh, look, I'm near the Monte Cristo.
Oh my God! What a coincidence! What a coincidence!
They might have a free seat where I can listen to you in peace.
Alrighty, so tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful topic. What is it like being a multi-potentialite person? So I already saw in the chat a quite good definition. So let me just welcome everyone here in the chat. We have Johnny Watson, aka Pauline. We have It's Craig. We have Ian at home and on screen. We've got Derek Walker. We've got Maria Albonos. Hola, mi niña. Saludos. Dane Duffus. Hello, Dane. How are you? And Carol Smith. And we've got David Butler on the island as well. So welcome back, you guys, you and Anne. Trisha Slater. We've got Simon Marks. Hello. A new name. I haven't seen Simon before. So welcome. Thanks for tuning in. And of course, Anne-Marie Elton. Thank you for tuning in. I hope more people are coming to join us on this wonderful topic, being a multi-potentialite person. So, as always, our guest, I always ask the guest, what kind of topic would you like to discuss? And Kim, as she has been on before, she talked about her passion, her work, and what she's into, sustainability. And this time, of course, I also asked her, so what would you like to talk about? And then she came up with this topic and she said, oh, well, being a multi-potentialite person. So now I would like to know why and what is this all about? So Kim, tell us, why did you pick that topic?
First and foremost, because I identify, I can relate to the terminology. Although I'm not always a huge fan of labels, but still in the description and we spoke about this before, like it's the term was coined by Emilie Wapnick, and she has a really cool TED talk on this. And when I first saw that TED talk, for me, it was kind of like, this is me. This is like me. I do not specialize. I have lots of interests. I pursue many things. I dive in and then switch my interest in a month later and so on. So, and the reason why I picked it was, well, obviously these sessions are food for thought.
Yeah.
And I think so far, even throughout my career, and even now as my very own business person, like a solopreneur or an entrepreneur, lots of people kept on giving me the advice as choose your niche down, specialize, don't. And I always went a bit against the grain. So for me, it was like, I don't like this. People keep on giving me advice that goes against who I am. And I started noticing recently on LinkedIn and on social media in general that more and more people are starting to come out as in, I don't identify with specializing in something, which also is very necessary, by the way. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. They're both equally necessary. But I feel that it was always a little bit not so much appreciated and valued so for me it was kind of like, I think that's food for thought. I think we should value people that have that way of being, especially also on a personal level, but also on a professional level. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, and it's Craig, by the way, he put up the definition. Thank you for that. A multipotentialite is someone with many interests and creative pursuits. Yes, and you talked about the TED Talk. I can link that also in the description box. So if anybody of you guys is interested and can maybe identify or know somebody who could be that, or says, yes, that's exactly that person, go watch it, check it out. It's mind-blowing. It's actually quite eye-opening. It had the same effect on me, I have to say, especially when she said like that typical stereotype question that children get asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, I mean, I had difficulties as a child answering that. But the further it went on, and then you at some point you reached that age where, yes, now chop, it's time to make up your mind to actually find out what you're going to be doing. It put a lot of pressure on me, and I could totally identify with that part, definitely. So specializing in only one thing, and then pursuing that for maybe even a lifetime or a long period of time, that was so against my grain, that totally didn't go with my personality either. So yes, I can totally identify with that too. So let's see in the chat if you guys find that you also feel a bit that way, that you have multiple interests, a lot of interests, and maybe even combine them, or have put your knowledge in one field, put together and applied it in another field. Let us know in the chat. I'm interested to know about that. David made a very good comment there, and that's very true. In my days, we called Renaissance man or person with huge diversity of talents and interests. Yes. Kim?
Actually follow Emilie Wapnick's blog. She speaks nowadays, it's funny that came up, Renaissance Business, which is a business owner that instead of choosing a specialty, catered their business towards their several talents and interests. So in my case, for instance, I definitely have a Renaissance business. Kind of like, okay. So it's funny that because I didn't realize, it was like, oh, she calls it Renaissance business. And now seeing this, in my day, we called Renaissance man a person with huge diversity of talents and interests. I'm like, oh, that's where the name comes from.
Yeah. Yes. And there are many people talking about Renaissance person. like Leonardo da Vinci. There are so many more who have very high creativity in a lot of fields and have specialized in lots of areas, and then combine them. So we're gonna find out more also about maybe the benefits and the strong suits of a multi-potentialite. Tim, how about you? Would you call yourself a multi-potentialite?
Well, I hope that my microphone's okay. Is that okay? It's not too
Yes,
loud
it
in the
is.
background? Okay, perfect. Well, to say the truth, I didn't know what one was. And then I watched the TED Talk and it basically described me. So I didn't know what I wanted to be when I grew up, or I did know, but then it was something else the next week. And then I found out that I was put pressure on to sort of choose something, especially at school. I went to school in the north of England in the 70s. And basically they said, well, what do you want to be? Do you want to be a draftsman or a sheet metal worker or a bottle washer or whatever, you know? Sorry about that. And I said, I don't know what I want to be. I'm good at maths, I said, which I wasn't, but I said I was good at maths. So I ended up doing something that had maths with it. I was a stock control clerk in a yarn mill. And then I did that to the best of my ability until I got bored with it. And then I moved to the coast. I moved to a beach. And I ended up doing something else. I was stacking shelves in QuickSave. So I was just like doing a job, not for vocation reasons, just to earn money. And then I thought, well, I am a salesman. So I ended up buying a market stall and going on the market selling jewellery. And everybody else was selling jewellery, and my jewellery was the worst, to tell you the truth. So I said, okay, what I'm going to do now is I'll sell jokes and tricks, because I like a bit of a laugh. So I got a big box of jokes and tricks, and I sold those. And I was making like 700% profit, but I wasn't getting enough money to pay the petrol. So my whole life has been try it, throw yourself into something, do it until you either doesn't work anymore or you get bored, which is the most of the thing. And I was lucky enough to get into a company, Siemens, who allowed me to grow. And the way I did that was to have all these potentials, being able to talk on different levels to different people. I was trained in computer studies, so I had a skill set that they used, but I was more interested in communication. So I ended up mixing the two together. And like the TED Talk, it was the overlapping areas of specialization, which was the key to unlocking the creativity and the benefit, basically.
Yeah.
And today or yesterday, I found out that it's got a name now.
I think it even had a name before, as we saw earlier on. Yes, but it's true. And overlapping those fields actually is part of the innovation. That's sort of like the intersection, if you want so. Trisha had a comment. We're going to read it out. Trisha says, as a youngster, I wanted to be a Norland nanny. Then when it was time to leave school, I had no idea. I wish now I had been a forensic scientist. I ended up being a secretary. Well, that's also not bad. That's also not bad. Okay, and Marie Alti says, I always wanted to be a travel rep, but didn't do well at school. Okay. Yeah, so one of the, Kim, what would you say are one of the characteristics that that a multi-potentialite has? Or even like in the TED Talk, she mentioned superpowers. I mean, that's a strong suit, basically. What would you say?
Well, to be fair, I can't recall exactly because she named three. I recall that she named three, but I can't recall which ones exactly. But for me, what I've seen, and the first time I realized actually was when I moved to Tenerife. I'd been, like for me, like Tim, I went from the diamond business and being in a help desk function to marketing and public relations. And then I went into insurance sales. And then from insurance sales, I went into HR. So I just kept diving into new things, but I got bored every about 3-4 years.
Yeah.
And when I arrived here in Tenerife, I had the opportunity to work on a higher level where the comment of my former boss was literally, "You're a generalist." And that is absolutely perfect because you have this bird's eye view and you can like connect everything, connect different departments, you just don't go in like, okay, this is marketing. No, I also kept into account what that entails then on an operational level and so on. And I think that the fact that we have so many interests and you keep on digging, you don't keep deep diving to a level that maybe a certain type of scientist is specialized, but you know a little bit of an awful lot of things, but it helps you because it gives you extra input to kind of like, okay, how do I put these together and then decide and continue? So it is what she calls that intersection. Like in the intersection lies the power for me.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So exactly. One thing she talked about was the synthesis. Combining those fields of knowledge and maybe even specialization, and combining the two, building a new creative force and innovation, actually. And I mean, she also mentioned that multi-potentialite people are quite rapid learners, or seeing, as you called it, the bird's perspective, seeing it and then rearranging and grasping. Where does that go together? Where does that connect? So that's another thing she said, and being quite adaptive. So adapt quickly to new ideas, and maybe through the fast learning habit, then building new things quite quickly. And
I don't think it's actually fast learning, you know.
No?
I know that she said fast learning, and I identify with that, but it's not fast learning. It's the willingness and the knowledge that you are able to learn new things.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people learn slowly, firstly because they don't believe in themselves, and secondly is because they don't know how to learn. And I think we as multi-potentialites have done it so often that you now know how to learn, and so learning something else is easier. So I think it's not that we're learning fast or faster than other people. I think we've just got a tool set and experience enough to be able to dive into a brand new topic, know where to go, know where to throw away the chaff, and where to concentrate our time. So I think it's another skill that we've got that maybe somebody can do a doctorate on that one.
I think definitely that's such a strong suit, especially in today's world, nowadays, even more so than probably before. Yes. David Butler says, I did all three and then went to engineering school after my master's, then qualified as a chartered accountant. I have worked mainly in finance, but was transferred into engineering management twice. Yeah, so you've got also a few things that you did, David. Nigel, and let's see. There are so many more comments. But first of all, now I would like to hear from Ian. Ian, would you consider yourself a multi-potentialite?
I don't really know, actually. It's a word I've never heard tell before, to be quite honest, until we had our pre-chat. I would say I'll wait to look for it, and I couldn't find it. I actually sat down and wrote myself tried to work it out, and basically it's been said in the chat. I worked it out as multi being many talents, like skills, different fields. Then I sat and looked at it and said to myself, potential. That's what you know about yourself, isn't it? what you could achieve about yourself. Somebody with many interests, different kind of interests, interested in environment, interested in your different sets of hobbies, business interests, education. I think actually I saw one. Trish actually mentioned something about our school days. I think it stems back to your school days, your education. Uh, People have a lot of different interests. A lot of them struggle to answer the questions what way they're going to go. What would they like to adapt to? What do you want to do when you grow up? Maybe something that you maybe pick out something you've got a passion for. Let's face it, I think not everybody finds a career success following the same path. So they decide they feel happier and they probably feel more positive with skills that can spread across different disciplines. This is what I'm picking up now from the word multi-potential.
Yeah.
The danger is actually also that you are a multi-potentialite and you're just seen as a scatterbrain or you can't do very well or you don't concentrate, or ADHD, is another thing that's been bandied around now. So I think that sometimes it not going diagnosed or not being recognized as something that's normal instead of abnormal is also one of the reasons why the TED Talk was created in the first place as well.
Yeah.
I think she was trying to warn us to say not everybody has got a vocation in life and loves to do it. And people who go through their whole lives and end up being disappointed with themselves because they didn't find their gig, they didn't find their kick, then it's there to say you're okay too,
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
That's
Kim?
the reason mainly why I chose the topic, because for me, I remember hearing at university, for instance, I chose translation. I'm a translator by diploma, which was actually quite good because you need to translate. One day you're doing legal text and then it's from the medical field. So that was very different. And for me, that was interesting because I kept on learning about different stuff in other languages. But I recall saying, if you could just do a little bit more, we know you've got the intelligence, but for me it was kind of like, yeah, but I don't want to. It's not, yeah, I know I could get a 20 out of 20. But
could do better on my skill report. Could do better.
All the time. It was kind of like, you're not living up to your full potential. If you would only focus on one thing. Even when I started my business now, it's kind of like, why are you trying to do so many stuff at the same time? Try and stick to one thing. And I fought against that. I was like, no, because I know myself and I will get bored. And I want to create a business that after 3 years, I'm not like, oh my, I'm going to have to make up something else now because I'm bored with my very own business. No. Yes. So funnily enough, I realized in the talk as well, it's not valued today, but it's called, I think she says that, Renaissance man, Renaissance business, because during the Renaissance age, it was actually a very value thing to be able to do so many things, to be able to be multi-potential. So, and now our culture is kind of like, no, that's not good. That's, you should stick to one focus and go. And I think lots of people feel bad because of that. So for me, it was kind of like, well, if somehow, somewhere we can have this conversation and somebody will be like, oh, so it's actually okay for me to just pursue so many different interests and switch every so many months, years of, yes, it is. It's actually, it'll give you strengths. So that's what I wanted this to be about.
Absolutely. And I also
it's like the quote, jack of all trades, you know it? Jack of all trades?
Yes.
A lot of people use the first part. Yeah, but a lot of people use the first half of that quote to say you're a jack of all trades to be something negative. But the actual full quote, if I get it right, is jack of all trades, master of none, but sometimes better than master of one.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I didn't know that. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's brilliant. It takes away that, as you said, that negative connotation about that jack of all trades, as people used to say. And of course, it takes away a lot of pressure. You mentioned ADHD. You have to know yourself, and if you know that you are not functioning that way, whether in your private life or whether in business, at work, it just is not healthy, and ultimately it's a way more sustainable way to operate if you know yourself, and that you need certain certain fields to work on, maybe put it down for a while, come back to it later on when you gathered maybe more energy, or maybe more knowledge about it. You're not maybe abandoning the whole thing. You're just coming back to it when you have more energy. So yeah, knowing yourself, I think, is very much key there. And it's and I think as we or Kim, you are very much into sustainability. I think it is on a human level, it is very sustainable, a sustainable way of doing things. If you find that about yourself, if you can identify as such, then it's an option to look into and find out more about it. Yeah, absolutely.
The key as well is acceptance. That for me personally was one that took time, because I always felt like I'm abandoning things. I'm not living up to my full potential. I'm not doing this okay. And I'm 46 now. If I go back to my younger one, I'd go like, it's fine. So, but I'm happy where I am today, because today it's kind of like, I know this is me and I fully embrace and accept that. And I know it has certain strengths, and there is no need, even though society hasn't picked up entirely yet, they will. Mm-hmm. So that's what it is. It starts with oneself, in accepting oneself as whichever way you are. And that helps a lot. And when it comes to sustainability, we always have that conversation. Like, how can we expect people to kind of dive into their environment and sustainability and the planet if they not, first of all, care for themselves?
So, absolutely. And there are different pillars of sustainability, obviously, and we talked about that. And I mean, the people who inhabit that earth, that world, they need to be also sort of sustainable and in a healthy relationship with themselves in the first place, to be able to live up to what is demanded in other pillars of sustainability. That's what I believe. Yeah, let me see. Carry on talking. I'm just checking the chats, because there's so much.
It's the thing. I was about to ask Kim a question there, actually. But Kim, your different disciplines, you wouldn't carry out these different disciplines that you're doing unless you had a passion for what you were doing, and you could actually see an end product.
Okay.
Something that you really liked.
Sorry, can you repeat it? I didn't quite grasp the question, to make sure I'm getting this right and then answering.
Can you
your
repeat,
different
Ian?
Disciplines.
Got to put the Scottish subtitles on, Ian.
Sorry. Oh, Timothy. Now I'm all off. Okay, let's try again, Ian.
the different jobs, the different disciplines that you're doing and you're involved in, you wouldn't be doing these unless you had a passion for what
Of course.
you believed in.
I do seem to notice, and I'm not sure because Timothy said he as well is kind of like he recognizes himself, Juliana as well. There seem to be with lots of people that kind of find their balance within this multi-potentialite. There just seem to be one baseline, like one red line that kind of goes through every. And for me, that is sustainability. So there is sustainability, but one day I'm talking about fashion, the next day I'm working in events with their supply chain, another day I'm organizing an event, a networking event, and some other day I'm doing something related to construction and architecture. So the main thing, there's like this
the red thread.
Yeah, the red thread throughout the whole thing. Oh, that was difficult. Red thread throughout.
The roti father.
Seems to be sustainability for me. So, and I saw that with other people as well. Like there's this one main topic seems to be, and then everything else goes around it. But
I mean, Kim, you remember years ago doing the sustainable coffee meetings, and so that was an event Kim launched a while ago, a long time ago, where sustainable businesses could come together, talk about their business and connect and network. So for me, I found it quite challenging to actually be able to put together all the things that I was doing at that time, because there are, as you said, the roof is, in my case, holistic lifestyle, holistic health, and that goes in so many different ways. I teach languages. I help children also who have maybe struggles with ADHD or struggles finding the right focus, the right direction. And I help with the mentoring, of course, the holistic mentoring that I'm doing.
Like Dirk Gently.
Say again?
Like Dirk Gently.
I did not get that.
Dirk Gently and the Holistic Detective Agency. It's a Douglas Adams book. You should do a holistic detective agency.
Okay, yeah, well, yeah, maybe.
Who knows?
I like to do research. Yeah, so that there are similarities, that there are so many different interests, and then combining that and niching down, as we were talking earlier about niching down in business. I found that awfully overwhelming for me. So much even that I came up with RAWs. So if you guys are familiar with my YouTube channel, there is RAWS, RAWs, and I always refer to that as being my niche. People who are ready, able, willing, and seeking. And that can be people can be children, can be adults, can be male, can be female, ready, able, willing, and seeking in that sense. So yes.
I think that's exactly what happens, that you do find, because when you were speaking about I find that myself, like you go to a networking event and automatically it's kind of like, the 1 minute pitch. What do you do in 1 minute? Me, who organized the networking, is kind of like, how on earth do I put together what I do in 1 minute? And then in the end, I came up with we're sustainable business connectors. Because in every single project I do, that seems to be in there somehow. So like you have the RAWs, for me, that was that. So if you lean into it enough, you do find that common thing that you then can say, okay, this is present in everything I do. It's the easy explanation.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. How about you, Timothy? Do you have that main thing as well, like me and Juliana?
I was on mute. Sorry. It's no, not really. It's to me. I think I've finished with it now. I know where I am now, so I'm sort of not multi-potentialite anymore. So I'm just happy doing nothing now, which is
Yes.
That's not true.
Yes.
Not at all. Because, I mean, yeah, so not true. Definitely not. I mean, look how many different people you are interviewing, how many different interest points you have, and that you bring actually alive. It's not that you are doing them at home, just sitting there in the corner quietly with Chris. And not sharing it. You do share it with the world, and you make your Tim show out of it. You are muted.
You're muted. He's a superstar, that's why.
it's in the name here. Yeah. I can't even. Walking home from my walk this morning, I met 3 couples that all said, "Oh, we're in the village because of you." I said, "Well, tell the bars and restaurants so I get free stuff."
There you go. There you go. Let me just put up a few comments, because there are quite a few. Trisha Slater says, in my day, we stayed in your job for 20 plus years or till retirement. When I took early retirement after 28 years, people seem to stay in jobs and then move after 2 to 3 years. Yes. I mean, that has changed so much over time, and the fact that people are now able to work more from home or split working in the company and at home doing home office. I think that gives a lot of possibility, opened up a lot of possibility for exploring your own self, I would say. It certainly did.
I love it where Germans say home office, because that's the Innenministerium.
Oh, the Innenministerium?
It's the home office. Yeah? It's
home
a government.
office.
A home office is a government ministry.
Yeah. So that's how do you call it then?
Remote working or teleworking.
There you go. Oh my God. I didn't know.
The home office is
true. Home office.
I like the way that Germans say a mobile phone's a handy as well.
Yep.
It's a handy.
Yeah,
it's handy.
because it's handy. That's it.
I love Germany.
Yes.
You know what an aeroplane is in German? It's a flying thing, a Flugzeug.
Yes.
And a lighter is a fire thing. Yeah, a Feuerzeug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if you don't know what to say, you say Dingsbums. That's it.
Dingsbums, there you go. Well, thingamabobs. It's the same thing. Thingamabobs.
Dingsbums. Ray Duffy says, always wanted to be a director, done with 5 Scottish bus company. If you want a bus, you go that way or this way. Boom. Boom. Yes.
That's a play on words, a director.
Yeah.
But I think he means a conductor, because that's on a bus.
Conductor.
That's it.
Anne-Marie says, when I left school, I worked in recruitment as a consultant, but after a gap, I decided to go back to college, improve computer skills, worked as a retention support executive in insurance till last Christmas. Yeah. And now look, and you explored so many more fields that you are interested and super good at, and you're doing so well. Do we have any more? Let's see.
That's interesting.
I just want to say hello to Adam. Thank you for coming on. We love you. Next week we can call, okay? Adam Hussein. He's deaf.
Oh yeah, the hearts.
So, and I don't know how to sign Adam. Does anybody know British Sign Language? I know thank you and I know we love you, but that's about it.
Sorry.
Thank
But
you,
next
Adam.
week, he comes on the show on Balcony Banter, and we put him in the corner and he's waving like that.
Oh,
But
great.
he's a great lad. He's coming over for 4 days in November.
Okay. Yes, a lot of people at the moment are back on the island and coming back. Fiona
Yeah,
says,
Sarah's
"Good
coming to the north, but you don't have time, I don't think, because your mum's over, right?
Who said? Who's coming?
Sarah Childs is coming to the north.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll check later on. Yes.
I saw some other
Fiona
ones.
says, good evening,
Yeah.
all. First time on your live, Julian. Thank you and welcome, Fiona. Yes, so every first Wednesday of the month, tune in if you are interested in holistic health, mindset and personal development, and all the good stuff and banter. I always watch Timothy. He always puts a good word for your channel. Yes, thank you. Tim is very supportive. So I thought I would come and see. Yeah, good. Thank you and welcome. I hope you enjoy. David says, if specialization was the driver of the success of the Industrial Revolution, is diversity to be the driver of our more joined up online future living with artificial intelligence? Ooh, good question there. Yeah, I mean,
I think Webby is the living proof that there is artificial intelligence.
why is that?
It doesn't mean anything. It's just a platitude I'm throwing out there.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Artificial intelligence, it is true that like even specialization was indeed the driver of industrial revolution. But I think nowadays you have to be like very adaptable and be able to switch really fast because things change a lot. So I do think that diversity and multi-interests are going to be more and more important everywhere.
Yeah. And as we said, Tim, I think you said it. It's not only the ability to learn, or to. It's actually the doing part, the willingness to do it and to adapt and to learn new stuff and make it a lifelong thing, I guess. Yeah.
Well, I found at one point, I found that it was beneficial to drop what you were doing and do something else, because I had a new manager and they didn't know where to put me. And all the managers that I had after I was about 50 were younger than me. And they didn't know what to do with me because I was like a know-it-all and I had a lot of experience. I've been with the company basically 20 years and they didn't know what to do with me. And I was very highly paid as well. So they had to give me some real work to do. They couldn't just let me go in an office somewhere. And because I just dropped the thing that I was doing and went straight on board with this new thing they were doing, which was video communication and internal chats, internal Twitter. We were creating this environment within the company to do all this. And I just dropped what I was doing, sort of quality management for projects, and came straight into this video. It was sort of breaking ground, and I even got a bonus that year for dropping something and just doing something new. And I couldn't do that if I didn't have the wherewithal to be able to just jump into something new, suck everything in like a sponge about it, and come out with some sort of solution, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what gets me hyped. Like if I can do all of a sudden, and I notice an awful lot still to date, like I start something and then I'm kind of going, oh, this is fun. So to completely kind of like, let's go all in here. And yeah, it kind of is a bit difficult to kind of stay doing the other thing you were doing as well. So
you're bordering on ADHD now. You're bordering on ADHD.
However, Kim, I'm definitely sure that you're going to find the bridge or the red thread that is connecting the new with the thing that you're currently doing. Definitely.
What I did, because I have my own community, well, the Slow Business Club, what I basically did is I hired an employee.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? And then it's like, I still love it, but I keep on loving to move on to new stuff as well. So I know somehow I need to structure my company that way to be able to do that and keep growing somehow. So,
talking about structure, would you say, and would you say that there is order
in the chaos?
In the chaos? Yes, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Is there order in the chaos?
I just told you that I'm about to launch my own YouTube channel, and it's called Sustainable Chaos with a reason.
Yeah.
I feel I have order in my chaos.
Uh-huh.
But it might not be as easy for other people to find that order, because I don't know if that's with you the case as well. Like Timothy feels identified, and you can relate to multipotentialite. Like it seems my brain is all over the place all the time. Like 1 minute I'm thinking of this, and then I'm going on to the next topic, and then I move back. And it's the same thing when don't multitask. As much as I try, it's quite hard. So I try and give it a structure.
Yeah.
But I think for somebody on the outside, it's really difficult to follow that structure.
Yeah, yes.
That makes sense.
I can totally agree with that. For somebody else, and if you're thinking about maybe even like business, then it's like, oh my God, this one doesn't have a plan. It's all scattered over. How is she ever going to get anything done? But I'm
done.
Get done. Yes. But yeah, it's then sort of like magic. In the chaos, from chaos arises some kind of new order, and some maybe it's not the traditional way of doing things, but yes, there is order. And what I find is if there is if you know yourself, you know how you tick, you are accepting yourself, and you are able maybe even to come out with it, be open and honest about it, talking to the right people, whether in your private life or in business. It's surprising how what connections you can make, and that you are actually tuning in and attracting the right people who are maybe similar. I mean, who would have thought that there's another chaotic or orderly person?
I think we're many, to be fair. It helped me as well is kind of find that at times it's a sparring partner, an accountability partner, like somebody that you can kind of, who most likely isn't like that, but they kind of hone me. So on lots of projects, I've learned, instead of doing it all by myself, like try and co-create. Mm-hmm. But I seem to be doing that with people that can actually quite go deep dive and stay, because they keep on kind of pulling me back in and saying, okay, this is a structure. So it makes it easier for me to kind of say, okay, I need to do that structure. If you would let me, like the first 4 years, I did my business all by myself. I think I switched project management software and my to-do lists and the way I run things every 2 weeks or every 2 months, because I love software. So I keep on finding new interesting stuff to do my structure. Mm-hmm. Now I'm like, yeah, you can't keep doing that. You have people that come into that structure. So that has helped me to somehow, mm-hmm. I'm not sure, when Tim said you're borderline ADHD, that might be it as well.
It's like the file effects, isn't it? You're always looking for the new file effects to be more organized.
Yes.
Yeah. I was also, I need a new notebook to get organized. On my iPad here, I've got about 15 ways of taking notes, and I never use any of them for a bit more than 10 minutes, you know. It's
David says, Juliane, I think you said you were an entertainment host before getting into psychology. Yes, very diverse. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, similar story coming to the island, arriving here on the island. I worked in entertainment for many, many
I
years.
just got to help the neighbours.
Go help the neighbors, save the world. Yeah. So, and at that time, arriving from Germany, I didn't really have any clue about entertainment. And then in my life, what I found, it was always in German. You have an expression. You say translates to "you've been thrown in the cold water." So this is in many situations in my life that has happened. So I was thrown in the water doing aerobic lessons. I was thrown in the water doing entertainment or presenting on stage or dancing on stage. And that was fine. It's sort of like you try, you think, wow, it's actually not bad. And you find your, as you said, Kim, you find your balance or you find your groove. And then, of course, there is always that element of, okay, not that I started out saying, oh, in 5 years, I'm going to look for another job. It was just that element of boredom, that passion wasn't there anymore. So I love doing my work for 100% or 200,000%, and with all my energy. And if I find myself not giving that anymore with the same passion, then of course then something needs to be talked about, and then you need to have that self-assessment and self-talk, sitting yourself down and saying, are you still happy there? Are you still okay with what you're doing? Is that still fulfilling? Or could you combine it? Could you maybe find different areas to explore? And in my case, that's what it was. And now I am sort of combining it again. It's not on stage, but it is on YouTube every first Wednesday of the month. So yeah.
It is. You can feel that at some point, and for me, it's like the average seemed to be around 3 years, and that's when I was like, "Oh, I'm getting bored here. Time to move on." Like try and so it's like once you've not learned everything there is to learn, but once it seems like you somehow hit a wall, as in, I think I've learned enough on this. Then you move on. And before, when you were speaking, I also thought, funnily, I never felt really scared to just jump into something I had no clue of, because when I started in sales, insurance sales of all things, I'd never worked in insurance. I didn't know. And I was like, I'll learn on the go, and they'll teach me and I'll ask, and you just go without thinking, like without worrying too much. So, and that up to date is still like, sometimes I have people literally like that become clients, not because I already offer a service, because they ask me something and I'm like, oh, I think I can do that. Yeah, let's just do it.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the creation, that's creating service. Things, useful things that people need. Fiona had another comment, right, Ian? Okay, I started working at the age of 13, weekends, okay. Then progressed to after school as a hairdresser junior, and I became a hairdresser after many hard years back then. Trained my sister. Okay, great. That's very early finding your passion then. And the other comment was, Ian, do you know where it was? Oh, there it is. Perfect. Thank you. I then left hairdressing to work in a factory, which I loved for 20 years. Then took my redundancy, early retirement, which I'm enjoying at the moment. Well deserved. Well deserved. Good. Yeah. Let's see.
But early retirement doesn't mean you don't do anything. I mean, I took early retirement at 53 and built a brand new life for Christine and myself here on the island of Tenerife.
Absolutely. Yes. And I believe, I strongly believe that people are doing that more and more, just to be able to sustain, because it's either you live or die, you know. If you don't continue developing your mindset or being involved in something, then the spiral goes down. It spirals down. I was gonna say.
I would like a third option, but unfortunately, you're right. It's pretty binary, isn't it? Live or die.
Let me just see.
Like, I think that is slowly changing, because I remember, like I said before, I was in HR at one point, and I remember really well, this was in Belgium and in Spain, because they sent me to Spain as well, to mainland Spain. Looking at certain CVs when interviewing people, it was not an okay thing if you saw, we called it job hoppers. Like, oh my, this person has switched jobs every so many. But nowadays, I think the exception is finding someone with a CV that you kind of like, oh, they worked for like 20 years or 15 years in the same company. So
yeah,
because times change, but also because I think generations ago, probably multi-potential people would stay into that job because that was the way it was done, would be my guess.
Yeah.
So,
yes, that's a very good point that you're making there, because that has changed an awful lot. And I remember, I mean, that was a question everybody was scared of getting at the job interview, I guess.
You changed jobs so many times.
So what happened? What happened in that gap here? Or what happened? Why did you hop so many times?
I used to tell people I was just fired.
He's fired. Good.
Yeah, I was just fired. Yeah, they fired me. And if they say why, I just said, I don't know.
David says, all my 3 children did a second totally different degree after graduation, like father, like son or daughter. Yeah, absolutely. So then,
I think you can do degrees till you're 45 in Germany, though, can you?
Really?
Yeah, you just do a one degree after the other, and then you become a professor.
Oh, okay.
You never have to go to work in Germany. Just stay in college the rest of your life, and you get paid for it as well.
Oh my God!
Let's all move to Germany.
That's Germany. Let's all move to Germany. Yeah. I was looking at some pictures actually of Regensburg, and I'm getting a bit homesick for Regensburg, especially when it's coming up towards the Christmas markets now. And I fancy a little bit of coolness, you know. And it never rains here, and it's always sunny. And that can
you
be
need to
depressing,
come up to the north. It's cloudy here.
We'll be up in November to pick Christine's Ausweis up, so we will definitely meet up then.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I've been to
I'm going to have to go, ladies. Are we going to do another 5 minutes, or are you going to stay on?
Oh yes, we're gonna. I am just looking at the time, and it's the hour. Oh my God! So let's wrap it up, guys. It has been quite a fruitful discussion. And let's see. Shall we start with Timmy baby, because you gotta go.
I've got to go shopping. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kim, for this great subject. When I first looked at it, I wasn't sure what it was, but I really identified with it, and I think I brought something to the table. And I think it was entertaining enough for people who are not really interested in stuff like this, that they go ahead and look at more, and especially those people that think they might be that and thought there was something wrong with them, and now they'll find out that there's nothing wrong with them. In fact, that's a better angle, isn't it? I should have done that all the time. There you go.
Better?
So thanks for inviting me on that. And
Thanks for joining us again.
Yes.
did I just leave?
Not
No.
yet. No, not yet. Say hello to
Okay.
Chris.
I
Give
will.
her
And
all our love.
as I say, she's feeling a bit under the weather, ladies' problems, but she's okay. And I'm picking something special up for her tonight. And
Good.
then I'm
Good
going to
husband.
do a burger. I'm going to have a burger.
Good husband. Good.
Okay.
All righty.
I'll
Thank
stay until
you.
the end. I'll stay until the end. But that was
Okay.
my food for thought for the day.
Good. Thank you very much. Ian, how about you?
Yes. I think it's been an education tonight, actually. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, although I didn't have much of an input into it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yes. What will I leave you with? I'll leave you with something out of my wee yellow book that I keep usually beside me here. A lot of different thoughts and that on it.
You're doing just
The
magic.
future belongs
It
to
was
those who
transparent.
believe in the beauty of their dreams.
Yes.
Did you hear that? I'll start
Say
again.
it again, please. Say it
The
again,
future
please.
belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. All right, okay. Third time lucky. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Do what you feel in your heart to be right, or you'll be criticized anyway. You'll be damned if you do, and you'll be damned if you don't. Follow your own intuition. Never do today what tuition says to do tomorrow. Keep believing. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much, Ian. Wonderful. Yep.
Thank you.
Exactly. Yes. Thank you, Kim, so much for joining us tonight, making time for us again. And I loved the topic, and so many wonderful comments as well. We will go back definitely and check them out later on. And if you're watching this on catch up, then on replay, just leave a comment for us if you enjoyed that topic. But Kim, yes, thank you so much for suggesting the topic. It has been really wonderful exploring the subject a bit further than the video, the TED Talk video. So having actual multi-potentialite people who I can identify with a lot of the character traits that she pointed out in the video and that we mentioned. I think it's wonderful. So, Kim, any last words that you want to share with the audience?
To be honest, after Ian's beautiful words, I'm kind of like, I don't think I have anything to add to that because I absolutely and fully agree. Just say thank you again for having me. Because I love these conversations, you know that, and it's always nice to be here and to chat. And it was a really nice surprise to hear that Timothy as well was absolutely relating to. I'm like, hey, yeah, that's me. That was awesome. So loved it, and thank you so much. And I hope to see you again.
Yes, oh, definitely. Yeah, in next year you're already on schedule.
You're definitely on the list.
Yes, definitely on the list. Yes.
And tell people not only to do the thumbs up, but also to press the share button. And when it pops up, you can share it to Twitter or X, Facebook or Instagram. So share this channel because we need more people next month.
That's true. That's true. Yes. And subscribing is free as well. So doesn't cost anything. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight, for making time for us. I love that we have fixed foodies for thought, and that we had a few newbies coming on tonight as well. I'm really grateful for that. I hope you you vibed with our crowd here, and we will see you again next month. So just remember that every first Wednesday of the month we have food for thought for you guys, with another full wonderful discussion next month, and of course another wonderful guest. And he popped in tonight, so look at this. Coldplay's. Hi everyone from stunning Lanzarote. Oh, good. Hello.
Okay.
So yes, next month we have Carl back on. Carl, and I think Saf is coming on as well, isn't she? We will see. We will see. So, but definitely Carl is going to be on, and we are looking forward to another great topic. Thank you,
Kim,
everyone.
what's your YouTube channel again, Kim?
Festival Chaos, but videos to be published still.
But you can already subscribe. You can already subscribe, and I'm going to leave the new channel in the description box for you. There's also to check out the Slow & Co website in the description box. It's already linked, so go check it out, what Kim is doing all around sustainability, and you're going to be looking at it like, oh, I didn't know it can go in this direction, in that direction. So yes, she is definitely a multi-potentialite. So living it up to the topic. Thank you very much, and see you all next month. Bye. See ya. See ya.